Hey, welcome to Cody the Car Guy. So we've got another how to repack your hydraulic cylinder. We've got a leaky cylinder on this one right here. This is a car forklift. So it's a smaller hydraulic cylinder, so it'll make it a little bit easier for me to show you guys a little bit more detailed. This is going to be the new improved how to repack your hydraulic cylinder compared to the first one. So let me show you. Now this is the cylinder. Not everyone has the spanner wrenches made to get in there, but it's pretty much leaking pretty bad out the front right here. So it's been pouring down. So we're going to break it free, and I'll show you. More than likely it's all crumbled up in there and just everything's bad. So we're going to go ahead and replace everything that's in there. We're going to get this thing tore down, cleaned up, looking brand new again. So one of the little tricks I do, this one we had to get it out so I can get it done. You can actually take and use the machine and put a rod through here to help break the cap free. So let me show you what I mean by that. And we're also going to use the same exact rod through the front to break the nut that holds everything together. So let's get started. Now some of the caps are easy to get off and some of the caps are a pain in the butt to get off. So like what I'll do is I'll use the pin right here. I'll use the machine to help hold it still. I use the chain just to kind of hold this one up a little bit. But now I'm going to go ahead and put a pipe wrench up here, and we're going to break this cap free and pretty much get it apart that way. Once we get the cap free, we'll put it back over here. We'll pull the guts out of it and then get it ready to go. We'll see what's actually busted up in there. Pretty much all you're going to do is come up in here, put it right on here, just like that, and push. Alright, we'll come back through here. Actually, this thing is starting to come off a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. So, once you got it free like that, I don't think I've ever had a hydraulic cylinder come apart that easily. All my big Caterpillars and log trucks and dozers have always been a pain in the butt. Yeah, I think he's been losing so much hydraulic fluid that literally it had become so lubricated. Alright, we got that off, so I'm going to unhook the chain, get it back over here, let's pull it apart and see what we got in there. Now to help me separate it, since it does have an O-ring in there, it's probably all gnarled up and everything, so I'm actually using a strap, a ratchet strap. I'm going to use it to help pull it out, so let's get this thing separated. We just click away until it separates. Alright, now pretty much there's two different cylinders types. On some of these right here, you'll have a big old nut back here. So you use the pin and you'll run it through here to loosen the actual nut on the back. This one is welded back here, so this one is the opposite. Right here we'll be taking this part off and sliding the rod through. It's a pretty simple packing kit right here, so as you see there's not a lot of parts to these things to keep them from leaking, but we're going to have to get this apart, we're going to get it all cleaned up and then go from there. So right now we're going to call this part 1 because the next step is I've got to get everything cleaned up, and then when I disassemble all this I'll have that on part 2. So you'll see the disassembly and the reassembly and everything, so and then the final step. So stay tuned for part 2, and I'll catch you on the next one. 11:59 videos out. Now a lot of times these bolts are on there unreal tight, so go ahead and get this broke free. We use the machine same way again. Like I said, it's on there. Whew. That's why I put stuff back on the machine, to use the machine to help. Because if you were trying to hold that in a vise or something, you're going to have all sorts of fun. This side, I'm going to flip it around, get the other side unbolted, and see if I can actually hand twist it out. If you're doing a field repair, like I said, these are some of the tricks I've used over the years for having to do field repairs on my heavy equipment. So, pull this out, swap this around. Back through, impact. That's free. Now to make it easier to get the rod out, you can do it two different ways. You can get anything that'll fit right up in there. You want to tap it in so it spreads it some. A lot of times then you can hand twist them free, like that. Now once that's in there, as you can see, I can now twist it out. So we're going to go and get this separated so the other parts can get cleaned. We'll get this thing ready, fully fixed. Because you got other parts that are inside here, and those things, the polys, they just crumble and go bad. I guess I should mention it. If your cylinder is spotless clean or very new cylinder and there's no markings on it, you're definitely going to want to mark it. Take a Sharpie and mark where your how many threads are left and everything. This one's been in there so long, I can pretty much tell exactly where it's going to go back. I mean, it's marked itself. So this machine's pretty old. All right, now that is out. This is your main section right here. And like I said, I'm going to clean all this up before I even pull it off, but we got to get this off so we can change out some internal parts in here. And you got a dust protector seal up here we're going to have to replace. So we got to get all that done. We got to get everything cleaned up. And like I said earlier, I know I said it was the end of part 1, but now this is the end of part 1. Off to cleaning, and then part 2 be reassembly.